official. All right, so we're going to start this live stream tonight. A little bit of a change up from last time. Today we're talking about informational topic, dog body language basics that are going to benefit anyone involved with dogs, whether you're a dog trainer, in the veterinarian world, right, the dog medical world, whether you're just a dog owner, you have a pet, whether you're just around dogs. Maybe you're nervous of dogs and you'd like to observe dog body language so that you know ideally what's going on with that dog. All right. Again, body language is going to give us a good indication of what that dog is trying to communicate, but it's going to be a little bit different based on that individual dog and the context of what's going on around us. So while we're going to be talking about generalities tonight, there are going to be some slight differences based on context, dog, individual, things like that. Okay, so as we go, you guys hit us up in the comments. Ben will be reading them out to me. Let us know if you have any questions. My name's Chad. I'm with Canine Revolution Dog Training. I'm the lead trainer, right, covering dog body language basics. One quick note before we get started. We did do a podcast on this episode, podcast episode number 44. You can look us up, Canine Revolution Radio, also Pack Talk Podcast. We're rebranding to Pack Talk Podcast. All right, but podcast episode number 44, the title is The Tale of the Tail. Little play on words there, all right? But again, we're talking about dog body language in that podcast, so listen to that while you're driving, while you're taking a shower, while you're taking a shit, all right? You can listen to that podcast, watch it on YouTube, whenever it's convenient for you. Three main topics we want to talk about tonight. The tail position. This is probably going to be the easiest indicator for most people to pay attention to, right? And if you haven't noticed, I got some good illustrations up here that, yes, I drew myself. I might be a dog trainer, but I can also draw just a little bit as well. So the tail is probably going to be the easiest indicator for most people to pay attention to know what's possibly going on with the dog. All right, the next up will be the head. The head position is going to be a good indicator as well. And then the ears. All right, these three indicators are often going to be the easiest for most people to understand and visualize when you're face to face with the dog. All right, there's a ton of other stuff going on with the dog body language wise, right? So with that in mind, there is more to learn, more to know about that. But these major points right here are going to give us the fastest, easiest indicator of what's going on with that dog. All right, so we're going to start off with the tail first. All right, so we're going to talk about tail up. What does the tail up mean? Tail down. Okay, these are the major indicators. And then tail horizontal. Horizontal to the ground. All right, so I got my dog right here. Anybody know what kind of dog this is? Ben, you know what kind of dog this is?
Wiener dog.
Wiener dog. Wiener dog. Good dog right there. They got some good dogs. All right, so when you look at this depiction, right, the dog has the tail already slightly up. Okay, let's say the tail is not wagging, right? The tail is just slightly curved up. All right, what that is an indicator of, in most circumstances, confidence dominance. Confidence dominance, right? So if the tail is up, it's going to be an indicator of confidence and dominance. Okay? What this means, let's give a couple different scenarios. If this dog is walking up to another dog and the tail is up like this and stiff, it's confident, it's dominant, it might try to dominate the other dog that it's approaching. What that means is if the other dog does not submit, and depending on the genetics of the two dogs, there could be a little bit of conflict there, a little bit of altercation there. The dog that is being dominated could try to correct the dominant dog, or the dominant dog could try to correct the dog that's not becoming submissive. All right, so something to keep in mind there. If you walk into someone's house and they have a dog like this with the tail up, confident, dominant, right? That dog might try to dominate you. That dog might not like you trying to reach over their head to pet them, because that is, if it's a signal sensitive dog and you reach over their head, that dog might think that you're trying to dominate them. So if that's happening, that dog might try to correct you, aka bite you, right? We don't know. So it's going to depend on the context and what's going on, okay? It doesn't mean that in every case, but it's something to consider, okay? So again, tail up, most likely going to mean confidence, dominance. Again, there's no wagging going on, no wagging. All right, let's say the tail is up, confident, dominant, and it's wagging. Let me try to get some arrows to signal that we're doing some wagging there. So tail is up and wagging, confident, dominant, and wagging. That dog, number one, it's up, it's aroused. It's confident, dominant, it's aroused. Tail wagging is the signal of arousal, right? So when the tail is up and a wag, okay, it's equaling arousal. All right? So what this means is this dog might be ready to take action, okay? Most people think that tail wagging means friendliness, and that's not always the case. Okay, if this dog is approaching another dog, the tail is up, confident, dominant. Now it's wagging, could mean arousal, right? The dog is aroused. That means the dog might want to go ahead and correct the other dog, possibly, right? Think about a police dog. If you look at a police dog and it is chasing a suspect, the tail is up, confident, dominant, and wagging, right? Doesn't mean the dog's friendly. The dog's about to bite this bad guy. You know what I'm saying? So when you see a tail up and wagging, the dog's confident, dominant, and aroused, right? You need to pay attention to the environment. You need to see, why is the dog doing that? All right? Maybe if it's your dog, you need to call your dog back to you, or recall your dog to you, right? If your dog tries to correct another dog, maybe you need to stop that, recall the dog away from that scenario. All right? So hope that makes sense. You guys let us know if you have any questions. So that's the basics of covering the up topic. Confident, dominant with the tail. If it's wagging, it's aroused. Okay? Now, let's have a different scenario going on. We got a tail down. All right, this dog got no tail right now. All right? Let's say the tail is down. Okay? If the tail is down like this, where it's just straight down, okay, and nothing's going on, it doesn't really mean a lot, right? It could mean the dog is just relaxed, right? So the tail down, straight down, could be relaxed. Okay, so let's just put a note here. Straight down, most likely relaxed. Okay? No factor, nothing to worry about, right? Now, let's take a different scenario for the down. Okay? Tail down, tail slightly curved. Anyone know what that is? Tail slightly curved. Down and curved. Okay? Anyone know what that is? Most likely, insecurity. Insecurity, nervousness. All right? So if it's down, curved, insecure, nervous. Let's say you're out in a public area and there's a child running around. That means your dog might be nervous of that child. It doesn't know what that child's going to do. It doesn't know, hasn't been familiarized with children. So the tail is down, it's nervous, it's insecure. Let's say this person and their child come over to you, hey, can we pet your dog? If I see this tail indicator right here, I'm saying no. My dog's a little bit nervous right now. Thanks for asking. Boom, good to go, right? If your dog's nervous about something, don't force it into something that could make that nervousness even worse, or that insecurity even worse. Try to build a positive association to that stimuli, whatever it is. In this example, it's a child, okay? So if that's the case, one thing you could do, you could provide your dog with food rewards for tolerating the child around it, right? Your dog looks at you, you say good, you provide a food reward, okay? If your dog is fluctuating, let's say your dog's fluctuating, sometimes the tail is down and curved. Here's another butt right here, okay? Let's get that going. Here's the leg, okay? Let's say your dog is fluctuating down and curved and then just straight down. What does that tell you? Right? The dog sometimes is nervous, sometimes is relaxed. So if I saw this, I might say, you cannot pet my dog, but here's some food rewards. I'll give you some food rewards. Give my dog a food reward. And I would be next to the child and their family as they come up to my dog. and show my dog that they're giving them something good, right? That would help create a positive association to that stimuli that might be making that dog a little bit nervous, all right? So just something to keep in mind, okay? Now, let's say that the tail is down, it's curved, right? And it's wrapped up right underneath my dog's belly. So it's down, it's curved, and it's wrapped up underneath the belly. That's 100% insecure. 100% insecure. Curved underbelly. So it's not just nervous, it's totally insecure, right? It's scared. So in that case, I don't want to force my dog to do something that it's not comfortable with, right? I want to try and build a positive association. So let's say you go to the vet office. You're in the vet office and your dog's tail is wrapped up underneath the belly, right? See if you can provide your dog a positive experience. See if you can get your dog's attention on you, get some eye contact from your dog, reward your dog with food rewards. If your dog is taking food rewards, it's a good indicator that your dog's able to work through that stress and start building a positive association. It's going to take time. It's going to take repetitions. It's not going to take one vet office visit, right? But you can work on this if your dog is open to taking the rewards. Let's say your dog is not taking the rewards, then that means your dog is totally stressed out. So you just need to get through as much of the vet office visit as you can, and you need to work on this, right? So take your dog to places that are similar to the vet office. Take your dog to a bunch of different environments, build up your dog's desire to take food rewards from you in that situation, and then develop that as time goes on. That's going to take a lot of repetition, okay? But for body language sake, that tail wrapped up under, that dog's insecure. Let's say this dog is your dog, this wiener dog right here. That's your dog, that's your wiener, right? And you're taking it over to your friend's house, and your friend's dog locks up on your dog, and boom, this tail wraps up right there. That means that your dog is uncomfortable with your friend's dog approaching it. So what you should do, manage the environment, take your friend's dog away so that your dog can become more relaxed, right? Here's that half butt again with the leg. So we want to see that tail go back to that position if possible, okay? So just some indicators. That can be a variety of situations. Also, if your dog has his tail wrapped up underneath the belly like that, that could also be an indicator that if your dog is pushed over the limit, if your dog's telling you that it's insecure about something and you're not paying attention and you're forcing it into a situation that it's uncomfortable with, your dog might hit the fight or flight threshold. And if your dog can't get away, it might fight, it might bite, right? And that's on you. So you got to pay attention to that. You got to pay attention to these indicators. Keep your dog as comfortable as possible. Put it in good scenarios that are going to help build up experiences over time. All right? So overall, for down, you want to pay attention to it because it could probably, in most situations, it's going to mean your dog is insecure or nervous. Right? One more thing we got to talk about with the down scenario. Okay? Down scenario. Wagging. Wagging while the tail is down. What do you guys think? While I draw this, what do you guys think? Okay. So we know that wagging when the tail is up means arousal, right? Wagging when the tail is down, put a little bit different. There's going to be a slight curve on there. Okay. Generally, tail might curve like this. Okay. Get another butt here. Okay, you guys get the idea? You get the idea? All right, tail might look like this. Okay, so you might have it down, slightly curved in. Down, slightly curved in. You might have it down, slightly curved out. Okay, you guys see that? Okay, but now you got a wag on it. You got a wag. That's my little indicator for a wag. Okay, wag, down, nervous. Down, wag, nervous, unsure. Unsure about what's going on. Okay? This means your dog is probably trying to work through the scenario, trying to figure out what to do, right? Trying to figure out what's going to happen. So if this is happening, again, positive experience, positive association as much as possible, right? As soon as if your dog is at a low wag, it's trying to figure it out. As soon as it sees what's really going on, understands the context, you'll see it become more relaxed in general. All right. So if your dog has a downward wagging tail, it's nervous, it's unsure, doesn't really know what's going on, needs some leadership, needs some guidance, provide that to your dog. Your dog should be able to work through that scenario pretty quickly. Okay. All right, you guys, let me know if you have any questions on that as we keep going. Let me know if you have any questions in general. All right, next up, horizontal tail. So that's going to be in general when the tail is just coming out straight like that. Okay, tail coming out straight, horizontal, right? Dog's relaxed. Dog's relaxed. Dog's friendly. Dog's friendly, right? If you're approaching an unknown dog or your friend's dog and you see the tail out like this, it's the best indicator that the dog's relaxed and friendly. Okay? Remember, we did talk about if the tail was coming down, straight down, right? If the tail is coming straight down, that could be relaxed as well. Could be. This is the best indicator of relaxation where the tail is out, horizontal, as you are approaching the dog or as your dog is approaching something. Now let's say your tail is your dog's tail is wagging horizontal, friendliness. Okay? Best indicator of friendliness. Best indicator of friendliness when it comes to the tail. All right? I hope that makes sense. You guys let me know if you have any questions on that. All right? Another indicator of friendliness with the tail out horizontal is what we call the butt wag. The butt wag. All right? Butt wag. So not only is the tail wagging, but the butt is wagging too. Okay? So the tail and the butt, we've all seen that dog. The dog, they can't control their body. Their body's all over the place, right? That is the best indicator of friendliness that you'll see from a dog. So if you're approaching a dog, an unknown dog, and you're seeing this, that is your best indicator that it's a friendly dog and it's good to go. Okay? With that being said, tail position can fluctuate very quickly. So the tail could be, right, like this, indicator of friendliness, and then all of a sudden, the tail might do this. Right? So that means the dog at first was friendly, now it's becoming a little bit unsure, a little bit nervous, which means you need to calm down a little bit and delay your approach. Maybe the tail started off like this and now it goes like this. Okay? What's that mean? Confident, dominant, right? Now the dog is feeling super confident, super dominant, might want to try and control the situation. So in that case, again, you need to calm down a little bit with your approach to the dog and keep that in mind. All right? So I hope that makes sense. We got the tail up, confident, dominant, tail down, insecure, nervous, horizontal, relaxed, friendly in general. With that being said, if you got a tail up, confident, dominant, depending on the context, the scenario, the dog may bite another dog or bite a person or try to correct the dog or person. Depends. Tails down is going to be the number one situation where a dog is going to bite because they're insecure, they're nervous. If they hit fight or flight mode and they can't fight, they're going to try and fight. Or if they're on their home turf and you come into their house, oh, hey, how's it going, buddy? Right? The dog freaks out, dog bites. Okay? Hope that makes sense. With that being said, a couple other things I'm just going to mention real quick. With the down, okay, tail down scenario, something else you're going to want to look at to know the dog's state of mind for sure. Okay, something else you want to look at. It's called piloerection. Piloerection, hackles raised. Right, so if the dog is insecure and nervous, not every dog, but if the dog is insecure and nervous, You know this tail go down, boom, right? You're like, okay, this dog's uncomfortable. Boom, hair raising. Oh, that's a good indicator that the dog is for sure insecure and nervous, right? Because you may go into the dog's house, especially if you're a professional dog trainer. You may go into the dog's house. You're going in there to assess the dog. You're going in there to do a consultation. You're going over to your friend's house. Your friend says, my dog's friendly, right? You walk in, you see the tail down, you see the hackles raised, piloerection, right? This dog's nervous. This dog's insecure. Best thing you can do, no talk, no touch, no eye contact. Ignore that dog. If you're the person coming into the house, let that dog become used to you being there, okay? Once you see that piloerection start to go away, that hair starts to lay back down, that tail goes more to a relaxed state, okay? It'll probably do something like this, okay? Then you know the dog's starting to get used to you being around, it's starting to become more relaxed, okay? If you can, provide some food and words to the dog to help build a positive association with you, all right? So again, piloerection with the down, that's what that means. Definitely don't corner that dog, all right? There can be piloerection when the dog's tail is up, okay? There can be piloerection with the tail up, right here. Tail's up, okay? Piloerection. Remember, this is the dog feeling confident, dominant. So if that tail is up and the dog's piloerecting, the hackles are raising, that dog is very aroused. This dog could also bite, right? So in this case, you're going to be very careful, right? Again, no talk, no touch, no eye contact. Good rule of thumb if you're coming into your buddy's house, right? And he said, my dog's friendly, blah, blah, blah. You see this tail up, you see this tail wagging, you know what I'm saying? You see the hackles up, you're like, holy shit, red flag, you know? This dog, if I get into a bad position, this dog might decide to try and correct me or bite me, right? So just a good indicator there. Or maybe you see this dog approaching your dog. Hackles are up, tail's up, wagging, right? Confident, dominant, aroused. Good indicators, all right? So I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you guys have questions on that. Just 2 quick notes on when the... All right, now let's talk about the head. All right, so the tail is going to be your number 1 indicator. It's going to be the easiest thing for you to look at and determine in a relatively quick fashion what this dog's feeling, okay? Something to note, you may see confident dominant if you're in the dog's house. If you meet that same dog out at a park, you may see insecure, nervous body language, right? So it's very important to pay attention in every situation, every environment, every context, all right? Okay, so with the tail being our number 1 indicator, the head can also be a good indicator, and a lot of these are about the same, okay? So if the head is up, right, in general, it's gonna mean the same thing. Confident, dominant, okay? Confident, dominant. All right, so the head is up, okay? Confident, dominant. This is usually going to match up with a tail up, okay? It'll match up with the tail up, or it might match with a tail that is horizontal, all right? In general, okay? So that's what you're looking for, confident, dominant. Same things we already talked about, okay? If the head is down, again, generally nervous, all right? So, see if I can pull this off here. I'm gonna mess up this nice head I drew here. That's the best head I ever drew, isn't it, Ben?
Yeah, it's good.
It's pretty good, all right? So let's see if I can replicate that in a downward fashion. Don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull it off. Okay, got something going on here. Not bad. It's a small one.
That's a small head. It's a small head.
It's a small head. All right, so we got the head down. Dog's nervous, usually going to align with the tail that is down. Tail that is down, okay? Something like this. All right, head down, tail down, maybe the tail's wagging, okay? Dog's probably, maybe, not wanting to look at you, so it's kind of like, you know, the head's down, it's kind of like looking to the side. Doesn't want to make direct eye contact. If you make direct eye contact with it, it might look away, you know? So again, no talk, no touch, no eye contact. No talk, no touch, no eye contact. Gonna help that dog get used to your presence. You might be at your friend's house. It's gonna help the dog get used to your presence, used to you being around. Start to figure out you're not such a bad person and that you're okay to hang out with, all right? Hope that makes sense, okay? And then the head is not really gonna be in a horizontal fashion. The head will either be up or down. In general, those are the main things that you're looking at, okay? Head up, head down, in general, okay? Messed that one up. All right. All right, so these are the main indicators on the head. Okay, again, they're going to be lining up with the tail position in general. All right, then you got the ears. Okay, so we're shifting from this depiction to these now. So you got a couple different types of dog ears, right? You got the floppy ears. I tried to do that right there. Okay, I'm pretty good at drawing. All right, so you got floppy ears. You got ears that are standing up. Think of German Shepherd. Think of Belgian Malinois. Think of some pitties, right? Think of Dobermans that have the cropping, that kind of stuff. Ears up, right? So you're going to be looking at the ears. Both these dogs, their ears in their natural state, that's going to be relaxed, all right? So ears, natural state, that's going to be relaxed, obviously, okay? Natural, it's going to be relaxed. So if you know this dog, that'll be a lot easier for you to determine what the dog's natural ear position is, where in most places, most cases, the ears are relaxed. And so in general, we're going to be on this section right here, horizontal tail with the ears relaxed, okay? Now, let's say the ears are forward. Forward, maybe they're raised. Okay, forward, maybe raised. Okay, confidence, dominance. Confidence, dominance. So again, ears are forward. Okay, ears are raised. Forward and raised. Confidence, confidence, dominance. Okay, hope that makes sense. So, confidence, dominance, we're going to be, head's probably going to be up, tail's probably going to be up, right? So head up, tail is probably going to be up, okay? Confidence, dominance, all right? So, again, recap on confidence, dominance. If the tail's up, right? Head's up, right? Ears are up and forward, right? Maybe the tail's wagging, okay? Maybe there's some piloerection going on. If you got all these things going on, good indicator that dog has the capacity to bite, obviously. The dog most likely might bite. So again, no talk, no touch, no eye contact. Ignore that dog. Act like that dog is not even there. That's the best case scenario to try and get the dog comfortable with your presence. Let's say you're at your friend's house. You walk in the door, the dog bum rushes you. It looks like this. Ears up, forward, right? Piloerection, tail up, tail wagging. You walk in the house. Act like the dog's not there. The dog walks up to you. Don't say, oh, it's okay, buddy, it's okay, hey, buddy. No, don't do that. If you make the dog uncomfortable, the dog doesn't like what you're saying, it might correct you. Just ignore the dog. If you can, walk past it. Act like it's not even there, okay? All right, then we got in general, again, every situation is different, every dog's different. Let's say that the ears are back. Ears are back, maybe they're down, okay? So the ears are pulled back, okay? The ears down. It's gonna look different on every dog, especially a dog with ears that stand up like this. When they pull their ears back, they might pull them back sideways, they might pull them back and down, Okay, like a comb over. All right. In general, that's going to be paired with the tail coming down. It'll probably look like something like this, maybe. Okay, the head probably pulled down a little bit. So what does that tell you? Probably insecure, nervous about something. Uncomfortable. Okay, ears are down. Maybe they're pulled back. Insecure. Nervous. Uncomfortable. Okay, so let's say uncomfortable. Okay, so let's say you walk into your friend's house. Dog walks up to the door. Tail's down. Head is down. Ears are pulled back. Ears are down. Dog is showing all the signs that it's nervous, it's insecure, it's uncomfortable, yet it's approaching you. Hey buddy, how's it going? How's it going? You might spook this dog. You might trigger this dog. But if you act like the dog's not there, you just walk in, do your thing, right? As time goes on, hopefully that dog starts to show some more relaxed body language. Okay, head goes neutral, tail goes horizontal, ears go neutral, right? Natural, neutral, that kind of thing, all right? That's what we're looking for, okay? So that's the major things with the ears, okay? You got natural, neutral, okay? You got forward and raised, then you got down and back, okay? So again, all these are the major indicators. These are going to help give you the best idea of what's going on with the dog, okay? In general, rule of thumb, no talk, no touch, no eye contact. If you're meeting a dog for the first time, doesn't matter what the body language is, that's going to be your best bet to help that dog be as comfortable with you as possible, all right? Why does that work? Because, you walk into an environment. You're not showing any type of overt attention to that dog, right? So that dog gets the opportunity to observe you, get used to your body language, right? And then the other thing too is a dog is a social animal. So if I withhold social contact, talking, touching, and eye contact for a period of time, probably that dog will want to come to me for those things. Versus if I walk into a place, oh hey buddy, how's it going? I start petting the dog, I'm giving it to the dog out of nowhere for no reason. Now that dog might feel entitled. Now that dog might think it owns me because I'm giving it things without it working for them. Versus if I walk in, right, no talk, no touch, no eye contact, I'm ignoring that dog, then a dog thinks maybe it has to earn social contact from me, okay? Something to keep in mind, okay? Think about a wolf pack. Think about if you go to a area where there's dogs, maybe a dog park, and you see a dominant dog walking around, okay? Other dogs will come up to that dog and give it attention, right? The dominant dog might ignore it, act like it's not even there, or the dog might accept the other dog's attention, okay? You see the same thing in the wolf pack. If you watch documentaries on wolf or YouTube videos on wolves in the natural world, they do the same thing, all right? Super important, right? So we want to mimic that as best as possible. We want to mimic the instincts of what's going on in an actual pack environment, even if a dog is not even in your pack. If you walk into someone's house and you don't even know this dog, you start doing these instinctual things, like acting like the dog's not even there, you could earn some respect from a dog, right? You could earn some social contact from the dog in the right context, okay? So I hope that makes sense, all right? So those are the basics on dog body language, right? We got any questions?
Not right now.
No questions?
No questions.
Right. Well, if people have questions, they can hit us up. Again, podcast episode number 44. You can find it on our YouTube page. You can find it on your favorite podcasting platform. whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Facebook Podcasts, Audible, all the above, Pocket Podcast or whatever. That's what Chris listens to. So anyway, something like that. Podcast episode 44, the tail of the tail. We talk about this in detail. All right, but these are the main indicators. Again, there's a lot of other stuff going on. If you want to really get into the minutia of it, you're going to be paying attention to the overall posture of the body, the lips, right, the eyes, the snout, right, a lot of different movements, how the dog is moving in relation to you, spatial pressure, those kind of things. All right, so those are also good indicators. But these are the three main ones. The tail being your number one indicator. Okay, ears are probably going to be number 2. Okay, then head number 3. But these 3 in alignment are going to give you a really good picture of what's going on with the dog in their head as time goes on. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, let us know. Hit us up. Otherwise, we'll